Hello, everybody. How's it going today? My name is Kenneth Stahl. Welcome to this live stream today. Right now, what I want to talk to you about is the feeling of hopelessness. And actually, the thing that made me want to talk about this subject is actually something that I saw in the world of sports. And I'll talk about that in a second. But I guess I want to open up by just asking you guys the question of what is the feeling of hopelessness like to you? Because I know that I've definitely felt hopeless in my life, and I think that hopelessness is a symptom of depression. Clearly, if you feel hopeless in your life, you probably have some sort of depression. So I wanted to talk about that in this video. We got a couple people in the chat already. Awesome. So this is a live stream. So yeah, if you guys do have comments, if you do have questions or things that you want to add to what I'm saying right now, please feel free to say stuff in the chat. So here's okay. So here's what got me actually thinking about this subject. So I don't know how many of you guys follow what's happening in the NFL, but I've been watching a lot of the NFL lately, and so the team that I personally am a fan of, the team that I follow, is the Detroit Lions. Okay, so guys, follow me on this one. I know some of you guys are into sports. You don't care about sports. You don't watch sports. Okay, but this story, this situation, I feel like is relevant to the topic. Okay, so we're gonna go this direction. All right, we got a couple of people in the chat saying hi. Hey guys, how's it going? Somebody says there's no answer to the problem. That's depression. That's hopelessness. We got a Chiefs fan in the chat. How's it going? Okay, so the Detroit Lions. All right, the Detroit Lions just got a brand new head coach, Dan Campbell, and he gave this really weird but also kind of motivating, really intense speech. Okay, so let me give you guys a little bit of an idea of what he was saying. And if you guys I mean, honestly, I recommend that you, if you want to know more about this, you go after the video here, go look up this clip, okay? Because he gave an introductory press conference. And in this press conference, he had like a 1-minute section where he talked about biting kneecaps off. Okay, so look up Dan Campbell biting kneecaps off. Okay, so this is what inspired me, or this is what got me to want to talk about this, okay? Because he gave this whole speech about, hey, the Lions team, not a good team in the past. It's struggled. And there's a lot of people out there who want the Lions to do well, but they've just failed. So Detroit, by the way, I'm from Michigan. That's why I'm a Detroit Lions fan. The city of Detroit has really just kind of struggled with football because our team sucks. Okay, so we finally got this coach in here who said, hey, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to get this team to really believe in themselves and say, hey, if it feels like we're gonna get punched in the face, we're gonna kick them in the teeth, and then if we get knocked down, we're gonna get up, and on the way up, we're gonna bite people's kneecaps off. So anyway, that might not make a lot of sense to you guys, and I don't do this justice. I'm not doing this justice at all, okay? But when I watched this as a Lions fan, it got me to really just, I guess, believe in the fact that this new coach, was going to turn things around. So how does this relate to hopelessness? This relates to hopelessness because the Lions historically are probably the worst team in the NFL. Never won a Super Bowl, only been to the playoffs like a few times, only won like a few playoff games at all in like 50 years or something. So the point is, the Lions have lost so much as a football team that a lot of the fans have given up, lost hope. So how does this relate to like just like you in your personal life? You know, I think that honestly, the world of sports, if you've ever played sports in your life, I think that you can learn a lot of lessons just about life and just about like being a better person. Because if you think about it, if you were to play a sport, I grew up playing sports. I played baseball. I played soccer. I played what else did I play? I mean, in high school, I ran track. I was on the bowling team. Um, did I play anything else? I played a little bit of basketball, but only like for a couple years. But the point is that by being on sports teams, I I feel like I learned the value of like putting in hard work, practicing, you know, getting better, just learning how to cooperate with a team, learning that it's not all about you. Sometimes you got to cooperate with other people, work together to achieve victory or whatever, right? Winning, right? In sports, that's what the goal is. In sports, it's all about winning. How can we win? How can we get better? Okay. So, you know, there's a lot of motivation that's involved in sports. That's kind of one of the reasons why I titled this video or this live stream having to do with motivation, right? Because there's a lot of motivational stuff out there to try to get you to believe in yourself and believe in your potential, to believe that you can be better, and that sort of thing. Hold on, let me just do something real quick. So that's always something that's interesting to me because I personally am sort of like I get really interested in the whole self-improvement stuff, right? The whole idea of motivation. Okay. So when I was growing up, I guess I should say not growing up, but I guess as a teenager. So when I was around 16 years old, okay, I started watching videos online of like motivational speakers. And I really got caught up in it. Like I really cuz like I hated myself. Like I mean, you know from the videos that I've made on this channel, if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I've talked a lot about like how I hate my life or how I'm not happy with myself, low self-esteem and that sort of stuff. Okay? So um so when I was around the age of 16 or so, I watched a lot of these motivational speakers talking about believing in yourself and you know you can be great, you know you can change your life, everything's going to get better, and I bought into it. And it's this idea that like I just genuinely I had hope that these people these people that were just, you know, giving speeches intentionally designed to like make you feel better, it worked. It worked on me. I bought it. Like I started to feel hope, like I could change my life, like I did have what it takes to get better, like I could achieve a lot of great things, I could be successful in life. That's actually the thing that really got me. um that's actually a huge reason why I'm actually sitting in front of you right now, is because at that point in my life, you know, being a, you know, 16-ish year old person, I said these people, like I feel motivated, like I'm actually going to make something in my life. And I thought, if this person can just give a motivational speech and make me feel hopeful and make me feel like things are possible for myself, I was curious, is this something that I can do for other people? How can I give other people that belief in themselves that they can achieve a better life, that they can find success, that they can live better, that can change themselves? So that's kind of how I got started. That's kind of why I'm sitting in front of you right now. But so I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to bring that up to you guys because um Yeah, back to this Detroit Lions guy, Dan Campbell. If you guys are familiar with him, and if you guys follow the NFL, this kind of went. It kind of went somewhat. It made headlines in the sports world. Um, of his biting off kneecap speech. And if you guys haven't seen that, I do recommend you look it up. It made headlines, but it was interesting because a lot of the NFL sports commentators, a lot of the TV shows, a lot of the internet podcasts, a lot of people that are outside of the Detroit Lions like fan base, people thought it was weird. This guy's crazy. I don't understand what the heck is on with this guy. But if you're a Detroit Lions fan, the speech that this guy gave, it gave us hope that this guy is going to turn things around. So I want to talk now about this idea of leadership, okay? Of how one person can give you this idea, if they're a good leader, that good leaders can make you believe in a positive vision for the future. Okay? So this can be a coach for sports. This can be a politician, somebody in leadership, the president of your country or whatever. This could be, the world of business, right? You hear about leadership in terms of company, owners and leaders. If you have this ability to motivate people and to get people to believe in themselves and in the possibilities of things getting better, it's something that personally, like, I want to be myself. I want to find out, how can I be a better leader? How can I step up, and when other people don't have hope, when other people feel like there's no way forward, how can I provide that? And I think that I would say, just in general, that it's so powerful. Like, it's just this whole I don't know, like, this one thing that happened, it just sparked this idea in me and wanted me to, and it made me want to talk about this. So this was like from a week ago that the whole thing happened. But I gotta remember right now, I'm live right now. So if you guys are here in the chat, please say hi. Please ask questions. Please tell me about yourself. Tell me about things in your life going on. What, just like, I don't know. Like, I would really appreciate it. I want to hang out with you guys for a little while. I don't know how long the stream is going to be, but I'm here right now. And, I just want to, see how things can go from here. So, but no, hopelessness is kind of like this thing that it comes from, I think, failing, when you just see things going wrong, when things don't work out, when you fail over and over again, eventually you get to a point where you just feel like things are never going to get better. Everything's hopeless. You just feel like, why try anymore if things are just not going to work out? And I think that a lot of people feel that way, but I do think that is a symptom of depression. And I do think that is something that is something to try to work through, because honestly, I don't know how to give hope to people. Like, I want to make people feel better. I want to help people realize that, like, that you can improve yourself, you can change, you can get better, but I don't necessarily have that ability right now to really truly motivate and inspire people. But first of all, I just try to deal with that myself, because in my own personal life, I feel that a lot in my life. Just at times, I just feel like things aren't really working out, and it's just, I feel like overwhelmed with the feeling of, I have no idea how to move forward from. I have no idea if my life can get better. I have no idea, and sometimes I just feel hopeless. We got a few people here. Well, why did I click on this? I can't remember why I subbed. Just subscribed about a week ago. Okay, I remember now. Hey, Kenny, we got I remember the first time I clicked on one of your videos. It was like 2 years ago. I was in a tough spot with my depression, anxiety. I'm a lot better now thanks to. Okay. We have a couple of people saying hello. Somebody saying I did watch your stuff before. So we got a bunch of people here who are just, you know, just talking about how you guys watched my stuff, and I appreciate that, guys. Uh, I think that the one thing that I want is I want to try to help people feel better. At the first thing that I want to do, I guess, is just sort of I just want to talk about a lot of these negative feelings that we might have, whether it's hopelessness, whether it's depression or anxiety, whether it's feelings of just low self-esteem. Like, these are all things that I think for most of my life, I think that I've struggled with, and for most of my life, I think that I've felt like I've just felt like nothing's like my life isn't the way I want it to be, and I'm not very happy. And I definitely noticed that I was dealing with a lot of depression at one point for a while. I think that since then, I think that I've gotten better. I think that I've definitely become a lot more confident in myself, and a lot more fearless. Not as much. I feel like my mental health has just in general gotten better. At this point, I think that I want to work on. I want this channel to be something that we can have these sorts of conversations, and we can kind of just like share our own feelings with others, and we can understand that, like, this is a place where you guys can come, you guys can talk about stuff, and you guys can ask me questions, you can ask me for my opinions on things. Moving forward, guys, I think that I'm going to be streaming a lot more. I think that I'm going to do a lot more of this because we're live right now. We got Ben saying, I feel the same way, bro. I so much hate my life right now. People here feel hopeless. Hannah says hi. Hi, Hannah. How you doing? Yeah, so I mean, in some sense, I don't really know what I'm doing right now. I don't. I'm here. I kind of just I don't feel like I have a good sense of what I'm doing. I think that I need to work a little bit on figuring out a direction for the channel. Like, I really like the idea of live streaming. Like, I want to do this. Like, I want to chat with you guys. I want to talk, but I need to get better. Honestly, I need to get better myself at coming up with things to talk about. And it's one of these things where, see, here's what happens with hopelessness. When you feel hopeless, it's the step that's like right before you decide to give up. So it's sort of like, maybe at one point in your life, you feel good. Maybe you feel happy. Maybe you feel full of hope, like everything, and optimism, like everything's going to be great. And then next thing you know, you're faced with just something goes wrong, some difficulty, some hardship, and that maybe gives you some sort of failure where things don't work out the way you thought they would. So then one bad thing happens after another. Next thing you know, you're starting to feel like nothing's working. That's hopelessness. You're starting to feel like there's no way forward. You don't see the path. You don't see how to improve. You just don't believe that it's going to happen. So to me, when I try to understand what is this feeling of hopelessness, right? That's kind of what I just laid out for you is sort of the process for me. That's how it makes sense to me, is you might feel hopeful at times, but then eventually things don't work out and you feel hopeless. And once you feel hopeless, that's when things start to go bad, because then you, I guess, say, well, there's no hope, nothing's going to get better. I might as well not try. And that idea of, well, I might as well not try, that's giving up. And it's so hard for me, man, because I get sort of emotional about this. Like I know that people deal with depression, and I know that it's sort of a normal thing, and I know that the feeling of hopelessness is something that we all go through at times. But to see somebody really struggling with it, it just bothers me, because I've been there at one point in my life, and it's not clear to me how to help people who are depressed. It's not totally clear to me um, how to give people that hope in themselves, or that belief, that positive belief that things can get better, that things can change. So um, I guess I'm trying to talk through this all right now with you guys, because I want to figure things out. Let me just um, read the comments real quick. What helped me the most in my journey was my relationship with God. Therapy helps, community helps. At the core, it really comes down to understanding our identity in Him, identity in Him. I do think that that is something that is valuable to a lot of people. Um, Believing in something bigger than yourself. For a lot of people, if you believe in God, I mean, that is something that that does help people. But there are a lot of people out there who don't believe in God, and so I mean that adds to it, right? If you don't believe in God, um, see, this is kind of a touchy subject, because I know some of you guys believe in God and some of you guys don't. But if you believe in God, then you believe in sort of this idea that everything sort of has a purpose, whether you understand it or not. Now, if you don't believe in God, then you don't believe in that. You believe that everything is sort of meaningless, and that just adds to the level of hopelessness. And I, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you guys that God is or is not real, but the thing to, I guess, think about is finding is first of all understanding that you don't have all the answers to what to do in life, what's right, what's wrong, what's best, what's not best. You have to come up with that stuff sort of as you live your life. You have to use your own judgment to determine, I guess, what to do. You have to use your own judgment to determine, the direction that you want to go in your life. You have to determine what is morally right, what is morally wrong. And man, this is such a touchy subject. I'm kind of dancing around this whole idea because I just brought up God. But uh, uh, it's so important, I guess, at the very least, to understand that you are not perfect. Perfection's not possible. And that if things aren't going the way that you want them to in life, that is okay, because that just means that your understanding, your perception of what is supposed to happen in life, it's being broken down and it's being challenged, okay? And that's sort of what the value of believing in something like God is what is beyond your capacity for knowledge and understanding, what is beyond your understanding of what is like. Okay, so here's the thing. So here's what I thought about, and this is something that I thought about before I started streaming it on the subject of hopelessness, is that we sort of let ourselves down when we set ourselves up with expectations. So it almost seems like the answer to how to not feel hopeless in life is sort of just to not feel hope in the first place. And I know this might sound a little weird, but this is just kind of my thought process, which is that if you don't have expectations, then you're not going to get let down. You're not going to feel. This is why a lot of people, you'll hear people say, I'm not going to set goals for myself because I'm going to set the bar low, right? Because that way I'm not going to fail. That way I'm not going to be disappointed in myself. And that's something that people do because they realize something important, which is that if you believe that things are supposed to be a certain way, if you have a certain level of expectations in your life, then when things do not go the way you want them to, or the way you think that they should go, or the way you want them to, or the way you think they're going to be, then what's going to end up happening is you're going to feel sort of just like I was wrong, just kind of like, nothing's working out, nothing goes the way I want it to. So to me, I was thinking like, if you can live without expectations, if you can live without, I guess, believing that things should be a certain way, then that is what will perhaps give you a little bit more freedom, I guess, from these feelings, these negative feelings. And I guess I just connected that when we brought up the topic of God, because I feel like that's sort of what, like, it's just this idea that you don't know what's going to happen in life. You just don't know what's going to happen. And that people always say God has a plan or whatever. But if you don't believe in God, it's really important to understand that, I guess, just kind of what I just said about, just I'm trying to remember what I just said. Just that if you don't have expectations, or that, hold on, that you shouldn't believe that you know what is going to happen before it happens. I don't know, guys. I'm just making stuff up right now. I'm trying to. Let me stop. Let me read your guys' comments. You guys have a lot of comments here, and I want to get to them. All right. Camera's looking good, and YouTube, bro. Thank you so much. We got if we haven't figured out our passion, it's difficult to set goals. With no goals to reach, we cannot feel accomplished because we don't see progress, like our lives are standing still. That is true. With you, one of the reasons why people don't feel good about themselves, or one of the reasons why people will feel hopeless in life, is because they don't have goals, or because they're not making progress, right? So I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but there is a saying out there, which is something along the lines of progress is happiness. In other words, what makes us feel happy or feel good about ourselves and our lives is just seeing ourselves make progress, just seeing ourselves get better. And if we don't see ourselves making progress in some direction or improving ourselves in some way, then we're going to feel, depressed, or we're going to feel, like things aren't working out. So, it is good to set goals. But again, when you set a goal for yourself, you're also setting yourself up for failing. And I think it's just important to man, this is going to sound weird. I think it's important to sort of get used to the idea of failing. And this is actually, I mean, okay, so I started off this live stream by bringing up something in the world of sports. And I think that if you've ever played sports before, there's a lot of lessons that you can learn from just being on a team, competing, trying to better yourself. But one of the things that's a really valuable lesson that you learn from playing sports is that you don't always win. It's that sometimes it's the other team that you're playing against that actually beats you. So I think that playing sports, there's a lot of life lessons that you can get from it. But one of those life lessons is how to lose and how to deal with losing. And so I've been thinking about that a lot lately, just because I've been sort of focusing on that sort of like sports stuff. And I guess in my life, I've sort of, like, you kind of have to accept that everything's just not going to go your way, and I think that that's something that I think when I was younger, I guess I think I had a lot of belief in myself, a lot of optimism, a lot of hope, a lot of just like, I'm gonna change the world. I'm gonna really, do something big in my life. I'm gonna be mega successful. Everything's gonna be great. And then things just don't work out quite the way I thought they would. And then I start feeling, I don't know. I start feeling like what's the point in trying anymore if things aren't gonna happen the way I want them to. Anyway, I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep moving on, reading your guys' comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I've been just kind of going off on this whole subject. I love it, guys. I'm looking here. I see a bunch of comments in the chat, and this makes me feel great. Just to know that you guys are all here, and to know that you guys are all adding your guys' comments. Let's see. Are you guys familiar with Healthy Gamer? I'm glad that you brought that up. That is actually somebody that I've been watching a lot recently. I just found them maybe a couple months ago. Healthy Gamer YouTube channel. You know what, guys? Actually, here's the thing. I do believe that this year, okay, because my goal is to grow this channel a lot this year. I want to focus a lot on live streaming. So what I'm doing right now, this is something that I want to do every single week. Hopefully more than once a week, just as much as I can. I want to, upload more videos that get that bring in new viewers. So I want to upload videos on the channel more often, and make sure that they're well made, that they actually get enough views, because I want to grow the channel. The other thing I want to do is I want to collaborate with other people. I want to actually reach out to people, meet people here online. I don't want this just to be a thing where it's just me sitting in front of the camera here chatting with you guys. Although this is going to be a major thing that I do, which is just sit here and kind of rant and kind of go off on my thoughts and talk about just my thought process and how I view things. But so I think that the Healthy Gamer, I think that that's actually somebody that down the road I could probably end up doing something with if the channel grows. If I, it's one of these things where I want to try to reach out to people. So hopefully that sort of thing can happen. Let's see, we got Andrea saying, I'm very isolated except for my job. I spend almost all my life alone. I'd be lost without God. Absolutely lost. Let's see, something that has helped me a lot with the struggles and depression and other mental health stuff is reading about emotional intelligence and trying to change how I look at things. That's a good point. I think a lot of times it is about, how you look at things and that sort of how you frame situations, because if you really pay attention to other people, some people are able to deal with things happening in their life in a very just, how do I say this? Like, some people are able to deal with negative circumstances and just kind of let it not affect them that bad. And other people, it really gets people depressed. Sometimes people deal with something going wrong in your life and you just let it really bother you and really get to you and make you give up, make you feel hopeless. And so other people just seem to have this positive, optimistic, doesn't matter what happens, I'm going to keep moving forward. And you see some people that genuinely don't let things get to them. And I don't really know how to explain that. I think about that all the time, though, because I think some people are just wired differently, or just some people have. I mean, I guess the simple answer is just that some people have better mental health than other people, right? And that's why I think that it's so important for people who feel depressed. It's so important for people who are dealing with some sort of mental health issues to take this seriously and to understand that you can get better, that you can feel better, and you got to focus on doing as many different things as you can. A lot of people will say, a lot of whether it means going to therapy, whether it means going on medication, whether it means changing your activities, whether it means working out more. Exercising, of course, people say helps a lot, the way that you feel, whether it means eating better food, whether it means sleeping better. I think that if you're feeling really bad all the time, look at all these things that people are recommending and try all of them and see how they work. See, okay, so here's what I did. Okay, so I've always, so for a while there, I was feeling really depressed. So this past year, the major thing that I did that was different was focusing more on the physical aspects of like my body, like eating healthier. I cut out a lot of sugar. Like I used to drink like a lot of soda, and I cut soda out completely. And I just feel like the lack of sugar maybe makes me feel better. I don't know exactly how it helps, but I feel like it might help me be less emotional and less like easily triggered. And I don't know. It's hard for me to even be able to say whether or not that is something that helped me. But I've been working out a lot more. I've been eating healthier, and just in general, I feel like that gave me a significant boost in energy. And I feel like the lack of energy was something that I was dealing with. So yeah, I recommend if you have mental health problems, um, listening to the recommendations of other people and trying out everything and just seeing what works, and don't give up on yourself and keep moving forward. Okay, so my goal here on this channel um, is is providing a place, a community here, beyond just me. I want you guys to feel like you can improve yourself, and I want you to really learn how to take care of yourself the way that I've been having to learn how to take care of myself. Because for my whole life, guys, I have not been taking care of myself very well. I've been kind of letting myself just sort of be miserable and depressed, and I would never focus on my health. I wouldn't focus on anything. And it wasn't really up till this past year that I started doing more for myself. So I want to see you guys feel better. I want you guys to feel good about yourself, and I think that you guys can. I think that you know, I mean, listen to other people. All right, let's see. Let me go back to the comment section. Watching YouTube videos about motivation actually seems to make me feel worse about myself. Okay. I mean, yeah, sometimes you can pay attention to everybody else. Sometimes, that comparison, if you compare yourself to other people, that is an issue. You see other people doing really well in life, it makes you feel worse. Dr. K streams really helped out this year. Can you be motivated without having expectations? It's a good question. I would say probably not, honestly. Motivation. What is motivation? Motivation is, I mean, I guess you kind of, I don't know. So in some ways, it's very good to have a clear goal, to outline exactly what you want. Say, here's what I want to do. Here's the steps that I'm going to take to get there to reach my goal. But I think that what ends up happening for a lot of people don't really take the goal setting thing very seriously. They just sort of say, man, here's all the things that I want in my life. A lot of things like I wish could happen. And if you have a lot of things in your life that you wish could happen, but you just kind of, you don't really work towards them, or you maybe see, this is the thing that people say about having realistic expectations. It just so happens, I feel like, that a lot of people don't have realistic expectations. A lot of people really have their head in the clouds and really just believe that, that life is just going to be amazing, like perfect, like in a movie or something. And that's the thing that is sort of an issue for people, is setting that bar just, too high. So I think it makes perfect sense. I've been there before. I've said I'm not going to take my antidepressants, so that way I can't stop taking them, and then I won't go on an emotional roller coaster anymore. I've never been on antidepressants. I think that I should have probably pursued medication a lot more than what I did, because I never really did at all. I think that maybe I would have started feeling better a lot sooner in my life, but I've always just been sort of just like weird about medication in general. I just sort of just stayed away from it. That's just my own personal stubbornness and just sort of just not willing to try new things. And if you're struggling in your life and if things aren't working out, like if things aren't going the way you want them to, I think that trying new things and trying things that maybe you don't think are necessarily going to work, I think that you should at least try them. You know, that's also one of the things that people with hopelessness. That's the thing that people deal with is if you feel hopeless in life, like things can't get better. Unfortunately, that means that you're not going to have a lot of motivation, or you're not really going to be willing to try things because you've sort of given up on yourself. And it's one of these things of how do you help somebody who doesn't want to help themselves, there's a lot of that out there, a lot of that. But it's a tough thing for me to think about too, because I don't know. Like I want people to be better. I believe that people can be better, and I've just always had that belief. I used to use my judgment with help from a community support specialist to get here. I may have been dead yesterday if it hasn't listened to others. 67-year-old survivor from abuse. Sorry, I just kind of read that whole comment without really. Um, well, I hope that everything's going well for you. Thank you so much for sharing. Uh, this is the year of Kenny. I hope so. I pray that one day everyone may experience and believe in God. That's the whole point of spreading the good news. By the way, where am I at? By the way, you're doing great, Kenneth. Never give up. Keep it up. Failing is not a bad thing. Oh, yeah, of course, failing is not a bad thing. Failing is something that's inevitable. You're going to fail in life. A lot of people see failing as a bad thing, though. A lot of people feel like failing is when you fail at something, a lot of people see that as okay. So there's this idea, there's this concept. If I think this comes from CBT or whatever you call it, cognitive behavioral therapy or whatever, right? Um, uh, there's this idea of catastrophizing. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that when that means that you take something and you exaggerate it. So if something is bad, you exaggerate it to being the worst thing in the world, and it's like this is the end of the world. This is, you know, I mean, you see this all over the place, um, but in somebody's personal life, let's just say, what can I say? What's a good example here? Let's just say you want to try stand up comedy. Okay, so you finally decide you're gonna do it. You come up with something. You prepare some jokes and you go to your local comedy club and you say, all right, I'm gonna get on stage. I'm nervous. This is my dream. I want to do this. This is what I've always wanted to do. So you get up there, you try it, and nobody laughs. And people, I don't know, it could be a terrible. Okay, so what happens then? If you catastrophize the situation, you could say, this is it. This is the end. This is like, I'm never going to be a stand up comedian. I failed this one time, my first time. And you could say, I'm the worst. I'm the worst stand up comedian ever. I'm never going to make it. Okay. So this is sort of a thought process. This is something that you have to be consciously aware of, this type of thinking, because if you ever experience this in your life, then you can understand that this thought is not necessarily the truth. You can't always believe in the negative thoughts that you have, right? So if you believe that everything is going to come to an end, if you believe that nothing good is going to happen, right? That is sort of an exaggeration or sort of an extreme version of like what's real, because the truth is that one failure is not the end of the journey for you. That one failure is simply one experience that you have. You can learn from it, you can bounce back, you can move forward, you can try again. And ultimately, that's the lesson in hopelessness. If there's one thing that hopeless people need to hear, it's this idea that there's always an opportunity to try again, that you can start over, that right now is the time for you to make some changes, to get back out there and to go after what you want in your life. And that if something didn't work out, that just means that it wasn't meant to be. But there is something good that is possible for you in your future. Now, obviously, that is just sort of a general statement, but I don't know, guys. I'm trying my best here to sort of just talk about this subject, and I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Hold on a minute. All right, let me keep going in the chat. Let me just read more of your comments, because it's difficult too, not having expectations. I would love to be able to do that. No success without failure. You should keep that goal, but sometimes you have to change the plan, not the vision. I mean, that's sort of like important too, is if you have like a vision for what you want, yeah, changing the plan. You know, sometimes you have to, you know, realize that if something doesn't work, that you can, you know, figure out what does work, that there's that, I don't know. It's hard though, man. People that fail at something, like a lot of times people just give up instead of trying again, instead of trying something different. But yeah, change the plan. How old are you, Kenneth? I am 26 years old right now. When your loved one starts to pass away, you start to lose motivation. All we have is now. Hey, Ken, love the new confidence and the new glasses. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marsh. Kenneth, have you heard of neuroplasticity? No, I haven't. It sounds like something. Maybe I'll look that up after the stream. I think they're just trying their best to not get depressed, like bipolar. Honestly, sleeping a good amount of hours and eating healthy food will do a lot. Your content is going to grow substantially. Thank you so much, Jack. I hope so. Just gave the whole video a like. Thank you. Holy shit, you've lost a lot of weight. I don't think I was that. I don't think I gained a lot of weight, but I did lose a little bit of weight because I started working out. Would you do a pro bono hour session with my daughter? She's a counselor, and I will pay her hourly wage for you to talk with her on the right path with food and vitamins. I mean, I don't know. Like, I want to talk to different people, but I don't know how I feel about that right now. I wish we can have a stream where we can cry out loud together. I'm not quite sure what you mean about that, but that's interesting. You made it start with the glasses. It's a community where you feel less alone. Yeah, I want this community here. I want you guys watching to realize that I want you to realize that you're not alone in the way that you feel. While your own personal experiences are your own, they're unique to you, the feelings are common, and at the end of the day, there's a way out. At the end of the day, there's a way forward. At the end of the day, you're stronger than what you might believe that you are, and that you can get through whatever it is that you're dealing with right now. And you just have to, I guess, take things one step at a time, focus on what you want, create clear goals for yourself, listen to other people. If people have advice, try out a lot of new things. Um, if you're afraid of stuff, uh, just find that courage within you, to overcome that stuff and step out of your comfort zone. But at the end of the day, guys, I mean, that's what I want this place to be about. I've always been sort of a tough person emotionally. I've dealt with like depression, and here's how I've always thought about it. See, here's the thing, guys. I don't know if I want to say this or not. Um, so I've always been a person that cries very easily. And a lot of people see that crying as a weakness that I have. But I've always thought of it as, how do I say this, guys? I know that I'm able to deal with stuff. Like, just I do hold stuff in, unfortunately. Like, that is sort of a bad thing that I do, is I keep a lot of these negative feelings inside of me, and I don't really share it with a lot of people. It's not until I started really doing this YouTube channel that any of this stuff really came out of me. Like for me, the idea that like I want to share this on YouTube publicly, this is the only time that I really talk about how I really feel, about how I really am. Um, but like I want to see other people. I want to see everybody. First of all, I want to see everybody be like, I want people to live their lives better. I want to see people grow, improve themselves. I want to see people believe in themselves, grow, become more confident. I want people to feel good. I want, like, that's the overall vision, is for the purpose. Like, why do I do this stuff? Why do I sit here and talk about this stuff on this channel? The reason is because I care about people. The reason is because I know from my own, like, from my own experiences, the things that I've always struggled with, the things that I've failed at. I know how I felt all these depressing thoughts, or how I feel hopeless or whatever. And I just know that that's not the way that I want to be. And so for me, it's just, I want to start this conversation about how do we change, how do we improve, how do we feel good in our lives. And I want this community, I want you guys here to be a part of this. And I want you guys to uh to really take your life seriously, try to be the best person that you can be, and work on taking care of yourself, your mental health, your physical health, everything. Where else am I at in the chat? Is exercise bad? Researching old studies saying humans shouldn't do much more than walk. Everything else is extremely stressing, which ages you. I'm not so sure about that. I know that I'm pretty sure that working out has a lot of benefits. I wouldn't worry too much about it aging you. Depression is a big problem here in Germany. I think I have it myself, and it sucks. You want to cry, but you just can't. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of times that's how depression is for people. Just sort of feeling emotionless and dead and whatnot. Greg says hello. Hey, Greg, how's it going? Um, Hubert, hello, Hubert. Just ate a huge bowl of oatmeal slathered in raw butter from the farm and 2 glasses of milk. Nothing can stop me. I feel so hot. Check out 10 plant Indians that are medicinal. Eat weeds, mushrooms, garlic, and vitamins for immune system. I'm sure that there's something to that, like something to do with like, your emotional, how you feel, depressed or whatnot. It has to do with like what you eat, whether it's vitamins, whether it's your immune system. I mean, obviously, okay. So I know that hormones are like really important, and I'm pretty sure that when I look back on how I was feeling several years ago, I'm pretty sure that there was some sort of hormonal thing where maybe I wasn't, like, not enough testosterone, or I don't know, too much. What is it called? Cortisol, something like that. I don't know exactly what it is. You guys need to remind me, but I'm pretty sure that I started taking like a multivitamin every so often. I feel like that is something that helps. I don't know. I've done like a few things recently that I don't understand exactly why I feel better now than I used to, but there's certain things that I'm doing, cutting out certain foods, cutting out a lot of sugar, taking a multivitamin, exercising more frequently, and that itself is something that's helped me, and I'm happy that it did. Anyway, um, a big part of life is suffering, and as the years go by, instant gratification becomes more and more readily available. This makes people prone to depression because they're not used to struggling and going out of their way to do or get something they want in life. I do think that it is important. I do think that people need to experience the hardships or the suffering, as you might call it, that of course it's going to suck. Of course, like going through tough times is miserable. It can be very difficult. But I think that what you get after going through it, once you overcome it or once you get through something, is an extremely valuable lessons that you might have learned. Or so if you're going through a hard time right now, um I don't know, man. I just feel like the thing that sort of, I don't know. I was gonna say like once you get through this, like everything's gonna, like things are gonna make a lot more sense. And I don't know. I don't want to just say stuff though. Like I want to say this stuff, but I don't know. I don't want to just say it. I don't know. I'm gonna just move on from this because I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, uh, bro, I've had over fatigue for no reason for 3 weeks now. I've got all the tests and I don't know what to do anymore. Hmm. Yeah, that's something that, see, I feel like I've had fatigue, but I never really looked into it, so I don't really know anything about fatigue. I mean, saying that you have fatigue for no reason, I don't know, man. I can't. I wish I could help you. Let me know though if you figure anything out for sure, because fatigue is something that. Wow, what do you guys know about fatigue? I'm gonna ask you guys about that because I don't really have anything to say. It's too bad the corporatist knuckleheads in control of government decimated the college grant system. Seems like you would enjoy psychology and would be good at it. I would love to. I mean, I've always been interested in psychology. I would love to be a psychologist and study it. But yeah, the only reason why I don't study it at a university level is just simply because of financially I can't afford it, and I'm not gonna go to school. I I just kind of gave up on college. I was a good student in high school, all A's, but once I got to university level, I didn't have what it took. I just realized it wasn't for me. I dropped out, and I didn't want to do all that just essay writing. I don't know, like it just kind of wasn't really my thing, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But I would love to learn. I would love to study psychology. I would love to get um, a doctorate or whatever. Uh, Happy to hear you've made positive changes. Thank you so much, Nameless. Hey David, how's it going? You don't have to have the answer to everything. I know. I don't know anything, guys. I'm just here because I wish that people, like, there's mental health channels out there. and you can go and watch people. There's motivational channels out there. You can go watch them. And there's a lot of great people out there that are genuine people that have good personalities. I'm just sort of trying my best to improve, trying my best to say things that are sort of thoughtful. I'm trying to be thoughtful a lot about just sort of the emotional side of things, how we feel. I'm trying to learn, trying to understand things better. And I'm hoping that just through these conversations that um that certain people hear things that they need to hear. And I'm going to be here. I'm going to try to my best to keep being here more often and build a channel here that is a just focused on depression, social anxiety, negative feelings, self-esteem. I'm not like I'm definitely feeling better in terms of like I feel good right now, but I don't like it's only been recently that I really started getting things together in my life and started feeling better. And I always had that fear with depression that it's just going to come back and hit me and I'm going to be out for a year just depressed and things suck. And because it was only 2 years ago that I lost my job because of depression. I shouldn't say because of depression, but I was depressed a lot. And it got to a point where I just stopped showing up to work. And I do blame it on the depression because I was not taking good care of myself at the time. And I found it just really difficult to get out of bed. I stopped caring. I didn't like my job. Just going there every day, doing mindless work for 8 hours a day. And I just felt tired. I mean, back to this fatigue topic. I felt fatigued. Like I didn't have the energy to be there for 8 hours a day. Going back and forth, moving stuff here and there. Like literally, that's all my job was. And I had emotional or mental breakdowns on the job. People probably looked at me like, "What the hell is wrong with this guy?" So I talk about this stuff, and you guys don't even understand probably half of like what I've been through. And like as far as how do I put this? Some of you guys, I'm sure probably a lot of you guys have depression way worse than I do. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have life experiences that are a lot rougher than the things that I've gone through. And my life is probably really easy. But I don't, I can't really express to you guys exactly the level of emotional instability that I've had. The fact that I'm able to sit here right now and feel good and be confident in myself, this is a complete 180 change from like how I've always been my entire life. So I'm just kind of living it up right now, enjoying this fucking moment because it's something that I haven't experienced a lot of. And I'm just happy to try to build something here, which is just my YouTube channel and just sort of, just kind of like I'm here to spread positive messages, I guess. But there's always people trying to spread positive messages. Everybody that you come across on YouTube or on wherever social media is going to say, yeah, I'm trying to spread a positive message. I'm trying to make the world a better place. Everybody's going to say that. And I'm saying that too. But like, I genuinely just care about people. And I want to listen to people. I want to hear about people's experiences and I want to learn and I want to try to understand the process of improvement, the process of positive change. I want to understand how people go from feeling miserable and unhappy and depressed and nothing's working out in life. How do people go from changing their life to turning things around to getting better, being able to stand up on their own 2 feet and that's sort of something that I'm just trying to learn. And as I learn things, guys, I'm going to share them with you. And as I learn things, I'm going to try to have these conversations and be thoughtful and try to have these, I don't know, try to just be here. I mean, more. So what helped me with fatigue was switching to a ketogenic diet. It changed everything for me. So I'm not on a ketogenic diet, but I cut out soda. I was drinking 3 to 4 to 5 cans of soda every single day, and I cut that out just sort of cold turkey. And since then, I've felt incredible. I think that cutting out all that sugar, it was a big deal for me. So I think that if you're drinking a lot of sugar or soda or whatever, I would say try to cut that out. And that might, if you're feeling miserable all the time, look at what you're putting into your body and understand how it affects you. That's the first thing. Sleep is the most important thing for me in fighting fatigue. Too bad I work nights. Um, for me, I've never really had a problem with sleep, but yeah, if you're not getting enough sleep or too much sleep, yeah, better sleep schedule for sure. Let's see. Yeah, I did the Myers-Briggs test, and yeah, I am INFP. Does anybody think that time is going by too fast, like strangely fast, or no? That's interesting. Um, I don't think that time. I think that time is just sort of consistent. I don't know, but I'm sure as you get older, you might feel like time is going by faster. You're here because God wanted you here. You're helping others. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate it. Um, keep the positive attitude. I have it. I worry too. I never feel that great. I'm married with 3 kids. It's very hard, very busy. Let's see. Thank you, George, for sharing everything. I hope that things are better for you. Uh, you should interview people who have overcome depression and create a documentary. So, as I move forward with this, I am like 100% looking at other things that I can do besides just sitting here and just talking, like live streaming and just sharing my thoughts. So, like interviewing people, having conversations with other people, and sort of like a podcast sort of format is something that I want to do. I don't know about a documentary, but I mean, a lot of this stuff is. I'm not sure how I'm going to do a lot of this stuff that I want to do. For right now, I'm just going to focus on live streaming here and making videos and try to grow the channel. I would like to get to a point where I can see enough success with YouTube where I can perhaps make a push to start, I don't know, getting sponsorships or like being able to go part-time or maybe even full-time so I can actually just live stream every single day, or so I could like make videos every single day, or so I could put more time to like reaching out to people for interviews. I mean, right now it's just sort of I'm in sort of a situation where I'm not putting as much time into YouTube as what I could because of just working full time and kind of just not really focusing on it. This channel is good. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate it. The Myers-Briggs test is not real. Look into his. Okay. I think that a lot of these personality tests, I think that you should definitely be skeptical of them. But I mean, I like doing it just because, it sort of just gives you an idea of comparing and contrasting different personalities. I find it interesting. See how many friends you really have with your friends and family. I'm curious about the videos you would upload. All right. How long have I been streaming for? Over an hour already. This is crazy. I feel like I've just been, I don't know, like a lot of this is just like, these are all thoughts that I have that I keep in my own head. This is all stuff that I think about normally off camera. And now I just, I love just getting on a stream and just chatting with you guys and getting my thoughts out there. And, I'm glad that some of you guys, I'm glad that you guys appreciate it. I definitely need help though. I do need like, I guess, advice, or I need feedback on what I could be doing or what people want to watch, what people want to hear. I want to be more entertaining, that's for sure. I want to come up with more interesting things to talk about. Uh, look into the channel. She interviews strangers and the results are amazing. Yeah, I might have to check that out sometime. Temperament test has helped me understand my triggers a lot. You should write ideas and other things down to help organize yourself. I do actually write things down. I do have a list of things to talk about and organizing stuff. It's just I just don't really put a lot of time into this. Oh man, I think people don't know what they want to watch. That's probably true as well. Um, I think I'm just so grateful right now. I'm so grateful that you guys are here watching. You know, I don't know. I honestly I feel like I'm kind of running out of stuff to talk about. I don't know how people can do this for like several hours at a time. That's where I think it's going to help me if I can bring in other people here to actually have a conversation with. Like if I can like meet people online and connect with others, collaborate, network sort of. If I can find like regular people to like consistently bring back and sort of like, you know, like sort of have like my own little show, like a little podcast interview style, not really interview, but maybe like just like a podcast style, bringing people on, talking to people. I feel like this would help me a lot, having somebody else to bounce ideas off of. I think that would be more enjoyable and more entertaining for people watching than just listening to me. I don't know. Let all my thoughts out. Like sometimes I kind of get ahead of myself because these are all things that I've thought about before, but I've just never really said them to people. So when I get this opportunity, like I just sort of let it all out. Uh, INFPs want a lot of things, but don't give themselves permission to go for these things. And my advice is just to follow your gut, follow your dreams. I think that's true. There's a lot of people that don't give themselves permission, that just hold themselves back mentally. Something's going on, you know, mentally where people don't trust in their own instincts or their gut, like you said. Yeah, sometimes people just gotta go for what they want. You said, "Hey Rachel, how's it going?" Your comment is, "You said you like the topic of people overcoming depression and what makes them go from that to succeeding. I think resilience is a good word, so maybe you could try and make a video about resilience." Resilience, okay. Um, I'll write that down or something. Uh, I mean, there's a lot of things that are important when it comes to, you know, overcoming struggles that you're dealing with. You know, the idea of, you know, life is full of things that go wrong, adversity, hardships. You know, sometimes sometimes really bad things happen. You know, those are what we call tragedies. That's what we call, you know, there's a lot of suffering in life. And so yeah, the idea of just, you know, resilience or whatever I guess you want to call it. You can vlog about anything, just edit it with funny and close-ups and boom, a million subscribers. That is something that's weird that I noticed is, you know, sometimes it doesn't really matter how good your content is. Sometimes, you know, you just do you can just talk about anything and it might get a lot of views, you know? So it's like, how am I supposed to know what videos are gonna get a lot of views? But I'll try different stuff. right now, I'm not that comfortable right now. Like, I don't know, like, I'm not really comfortable right now live streaming. Like I'm sure it seems like I'm just sitting here having a deep conversation with you guys, but I'm actually really like uncomfortable and nervous right now, and I want to I want to I want to challenge myself. I want to test myself to like act more spontaneous and weird and stupid. Not necessarily stupid, but just like, I don't know. I want to mix together. Okay, so this is sort of a vision for the channel. Is I want to mix together these really deep conversations. I want to mix together like, this conversations about feeling better in life, going through hard times, feeling depressed, having low self-esteem or whatever. I want to mix sort of silliness and entertainment, sort of just like, how do I put this? Like, like maybe comedy is what I'm trying to think of. Like, be more comedic, not take myself so seriously, not take life so seriously. But I can never do that because I'm just not comfortable yet. I'm not as experienced in doing that sort of thing. The thing that I'm best at is doing what I'm doing right now, which is just talking off the top of my head on these subjects because it's what I care about the most. It's what I'm good at sort of um, being true to like myself and like what I care about, but I'm not so good at the creative aspects of like just being entertaining and being spontaneous and what do you call it? Improvising with just like, you know, funny, silly crap. Uh we got, let's see, what do we got? Nameless says, if you want to collab, I'd love to do an interview together. You could be on my channel or I could be on yours. We can talk about depression. I'll check out your channel. I'll check you out and we can see about setting that up. I'd be interested in doing that. You've always, I think you've been around for a while. You've been in previous live streams, right? Like I feel like I've seen your name here before, but I don't know. Maybe it was somebody different. Follow me up on that. I don't know. Maybe send me an email or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'll go to your channel. I'll message you or something. We'll figure it out. I would like to collab with people. Okay, we could do is find a broad topic you might be interested in talking about, then breaking it down into parts and use chat to help you go off on other topics. Thank you, Brandon. I do appreciate that. That is something. 26, you're 45, George? Yeah, I'm 26 right now, which I guess is still young, But that's the other thing is like, I feel like there's so much potential for me to really create what I want to create in terms of whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's something else. Like, there's so much time I feel like that I have to work on something, but at the same time, I have let a lot of time go by just wasting it and just kind of not going anywhere, not putting in a lot of work. So, I need to start really working harder. I feel like on building this channel up, doing more. What's your favorite childhood memory? Ooh, I don't know about that one. I don't have a favorite really anything. I can't really remember. I don't really remember a lot. Making friends and colleagues to have in your life is like exercising. The more you exercise effort, the stronger you get. So you want to make more friends, you need to do the hard work first. I do agree that there's like this idea of just how much effort you're putting into things, and through effort you learn. Sometimes things aren't going to work out the way you want them to or the way you thought they would go, but that's part of the process of learning and growing. And so you have to be willing to try hard. And I, uh, I just think that it's really important for people to do like what you said, which is put in more effort, you'll get better. Um, I wish when I was a child there was a school for mental, spiritual, physical gurus. School, all I learned in school is not helping me right now. I do think that there is something to the idea of, so there's a lot of people that are looking for direction in life. There's a lot of people that are just looking for, how can I improve myself, or I'm dealing with all these negative feelings. How do I feel better? I'm depressed. I feel lost in life. I have anxiety. I have fear. And I do feel like there's not a lot of guidance. And that's sort of this thing that I'm trying to fill somewhat of that role. Like that's something that I'm trying to develop myself into, is as a person that sort of that has useful things to share with people, that can help people in that area of life. I feel like there's really not a ton of systematic support for things like this. There is therapy. You can go to like see a counselor, you can go see a psychologist, there's group therapy. So that's sort of, I guess, a structural system set up to help people, but in a sense, ideally your family, your parents, the people that you grow up with would instill in you these values and these ideas that would help you be a good person, and or ideally you would have friends growing up that, or people right now that in your life that would be there for you and help you with whatever you need emotionally or spiritually or whatever you want or whatever you're, I guess, going through. But unfortunately, a lot of us are sort of self-isolated. A lot of us are, or a lot of us did not grow up with a good childhood, household, parent situation. So we didn't really get everything that we needed in terms of providing us with the, you know, the lessons that maybe are important to learn in life. So I think that there's a lot of people who are looking for that sort of, just how do I fill in that area that I'm looking for, that sense of meaning, and that sense of people telling me that I can, that I can be better than what I am. That kind of goes back to sort of what I brought up initially at the beginning of the stream, which was just about this idea of hopelessness and motivation, and like how there are some people, whether it's leaders like coaches for sports, that will get you, that are there specifically to try to get you to improve yourself, that are going to tell you to work harder, and that are going to push you, that are going to that are going to have a vision. Like a good leader, like a political leader, is somebody that can bring people together and convince you that there's hope for the future, and that, whether it's like, for instance, like there's a lot of people, like I live in the United States of America. So a lot of people in the United States might feel like, with everything going on right now, how divisive politically things are, or how it doesn't seem like the country is sort of, how do you put it? Like we're in a weird place, and a lot of people feel hopeless about the future. A lot of people have given up, or a lot of people just, it's such a weird thing, because we know that things aren't working right. We know things are wrong. We know the leaders are not the best people in charge of stuff. We don't trust the government. We don't trust certain, like, it's gotten to a point where it's like, if there's good people in charge, good leaders who have a good positive vision for the future, who have a plan, who can tell you this is what's going to this is how we're going to change things. This is how things are going to get better. We're going to turn this around. If you have a good leader, then you're going to believe in, you're going to have hope. They're going to provide you with a sense of hope that things can get better, that things can improve. And I think that I think that we just all need that, just for every area of our lives, So I kind of started this live stream talking about sports a little bit, and how like a good coach on a sports team will kind of do that, Um, like if you're on a sports team and you just tell the coach, "Hey, coach, I really suck at this," whether it's football or whatever. I'm just a terrible player. I'm gonna just go home and give up. What if that coach just said, "Oh, you suck. Okay, yeah, go home. See you later. Thanks for trying." No, they're gonna say, "What did you just say?" No, you're not gonna just go home and give up. You're gonna work harder. You're gonna okay. So here's a story. So I used to be on the track team in high school, and I ran like sprints. I did like the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, the 400-meter dash, and this one time, so I had this coach. We were doing a workout in practice, and we had to do like it was like this ladder system. You did a 100-meter dash, then 200, then 300, then 400, then you go back down to 400 again, then 300, then 200, 100. It is a terrible workout. I was dead, but I've never really had a ton of energy. Like I would always do quick workouts and then stop. Um, I remember getting to a certain point where I felt like I was gonna throw up. Like I was just done. It was a 200-meter dash. He was getting everybody lined up to like run the 200-meter dash, and then I just said, "I'm not doing this one. Like I'm done. Like I'm gonna stop." And he looked at me and he was like, he called me Stall, right? My last name is Stall. He didn't call me by my first name. He just said Stall. Like, what did you just say? You're gonna run this. You're gonna run. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna run this. I was kind of stubborn. I just said, I kind of have a problem with authority. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like people. I like to. I said I wasn't gonna do it. I was probably, how old was I? I was probably 17, I think, or 16. And he said, well, if you're not gonna do this, then you can go back up to the locker room and you can just you're done. You're done with this practice. And I was like, fine. Like, I guess I'm done. And I just kind of walked off. I just said, so for him as a coach, he was, okay, he might not have handled it the right way, but for him, his mindset was he wasn't going to let me quit, right? His mindset was he wasn't going to let me just walk away and say, no, I'm not going to do this. He was trying to push me. He was trying to get me to do something that I was ready to give up on. What he didn't realize was that I was going to say no, or he didn't realize that I was going to be stubborn. He didn't realize that legitimately the reason why I didn't want to run was because I knew that I was going to throw up, and I would have every single time. Okay, so in high school, like I had PE class, an advanced PE, and like every single time it was the first day of PE or it was the first day of track practice, having to do like running or like just hard exercise when I haven't exercised in like a month or not a month, but like a year or months. Every single time I've thrown up, I've always had that problem of puking, and it was an issue. And so I know my limit physically. And I don't know. I guess like what I was trying to say with that whole story is kind of a lame story, but the point that I was trying to say about that was just, coaches are there to push you past your boundaries. Coaches are there to try to get you to do things that you're not otherwise motivated to do on your own. So if there's good people around you that can push you, that can help you, then that's useful. I miss track. I miss running. I ran for the first time, just trying to exercise more this year, and or last year I should say, 2020. It's 2021. It's weird. I'm not used to saying that. And it was like the first time running in like 7-8 years, and it felt great. Honestly, it sucked, but it felt great. I miss track. I miss track and field. I ran the 400-meter dash, and the one thing about that race is like I feel like you can learn a lot of things from if you played sports or if you did competitive stuff that pushed you or challenged you. And in track and field, the 400-meter dash was sort of this thing where like you have to sprint the entire time basically. But like once you get like 3/4 of the way around, so a 400-meter dash is one full lap on the track. And so once you get like 3/4 of the way, you're just dead. You can't feel your legs. Like for me, like the one thing that I learned from running track and specifically doing that race was how to keep moving on even when I feel dead, because you have to. Like you're in the race, and if you want to finish the race, you can't just stop halfway through, you know. And it was terrible because like I would just literally feel like I couldn't feel my legs anymore. I was dead. Anyway, I'm just kind of going on. I thought that I would maybe bring up the topic of sports in this stream just because I know that we can all learn things from sports. Um, Nameless, I will message you or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. What time is it? It's 7:15 already. All right. Been recording for this for an hour and a half. I think I'm gonna get going, guys. I'm about done here. Yeah, I'm gonna get going, guys. So let me very quickly. How do I do this? I want to put a link in the chat. Fish roll, risotto. Okay, that was an advertisement on Twitch. I apologize for you guys hearing that. So if you guys want to keep on watching me right now, I'm going to end the stream. But if you guys want to keep on watching me, you guys can go to twitch.tv/KennyStall, and I'm going to be playing a little bit of Stardew Valley right now. Twitch is my gaming channel. I'm going to try to play a variety of video games over there right now. Oh, is this my stream? My stream is on. I just opened up a tab. I didn't realize the music was playing. So if you guys want to go watch me over there, I'm going to start that stream up in probably 5 minutes. So I want to say thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for watching. I'm going to look forward to doing more live streams in the future, more videos. Your guys' feedback is very valuable to me. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Right now, I'm going to go chill, play some Stardew Valley. So if you guys want to come over there, continue the conversation, say hi, do whatever, use that link. With that being said, guys, that's the end of the stream. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you over there. Take care. A couple of minutes. It'll only be like 2 minutes.